Off the year, the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all lower. The Dow losing 382 points. Percentage basis down 1.5%, while the NASDAQ fell 189 points.
Dollarama.
Up $51.70.
Get in the video now.
$19.64 the ounce, while oil fell $1.24 down to $47.28 a barrel. And the Canadian dollar edged lower, down 0.3%.
What's your deal? You were just sitting here waiting for me to get back on my 3, 1.
Markets are changing more than ever.
A financial advisor can help address the next video.
On the same shit, so make the same clip, never gonna change, no nigga on the change shows. And the fool, the only is destructive, nothing up, put some aim, the niggas are busting button. Harder than the game, no pass a fuck, no, we pass a bit, that to get a shit back to every other hot shit. White boys come back, we are like 5, cause I ain't everything, I see a little holy, they wanna see the third breaking when it's fair, work at a piece of rock, work at me, take a break, they make the last. Didn't even crack to us. Ain't hard in the boot, it's a takeover. And the run to the best that I see make over. I know the truth, the rest I ain't won't sleep till I knock it. And don't push me, cause I ain't a top. Yeah, 12-year-old things that ain't scared. I don't you compared to. I ain't finished my fair share yet. But I hear the just started. And I ain't talking about no club shop.
In places like factories, pharmacies, and grocery stores
have coronavirus at the same business. They're now required to report it to public health. Wasn't required.
The last round of data. Starting Thursday, all airline passengers returning to Canada must show negative COVID test results before
their own test results.
The National Airlines Council of Canada says it's supporting it, but it's creating a land of confusion.
Oh, I never made it to
the
meal replacement place.
James, for the first time in 8 years, is Canada and Russia in the semifinals of the World Junior Hockey Championship. Today's action from Edmonton gets going at 6 o'clock. Canada has scored first in every game they've played so far. The second semi gets going at 9:30 when the States take on Finland. Maple Leafs kicked off the on-ice portion of training camp today, where Joe Thornton says he feels young again, being around what he calls youthful energy.
Well, I got no stress, man, honestly. You know, I feel good. I feel comfortable. You know, but I tend to play, with no stress, have a smile on my face, stay hungry. I think that's when I perform the best. And, at my age, I'll just continue that.
And Thornton was the left winger on the top line with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. Shai Davidi, the first to report that the Blue Jays had free agent reliever Liam Hendricks visiting their Dunedin complex today. Hendricks had 14 saves in 2020 with a 1.78 ERA. Raptors hoping to see the efficient Pascal Siakam tonight when they take on the Celtics in Tampa. We got the call at 7:30 on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 590 The Fan. And the Jacksonville Jaguars fired Doug Marrone on Black Monday, while the Chargers parted ways with their head coach, Anthony Lynn. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
This is 60 News. At JackpotCity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned Progressive Jackpot
at some point be able to get away with putting Virginia
JackpotCity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit JackpotCity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
This is the first sound you hear when we get hit by a snowstorm. And this is the second sound you hear. Snow plows on the DVP.
The onion appears to be
and the Gardner. When it snows, the city has over 5,600 kilometers of roads to salt and plow. And in order to get more people where they need to go safely, we clear expressways, major roads, and transit routes first, before moving on to residential streets. It's how we keep you moving, Toronto. Get to know the plan for snow at toronto.ca/snow.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. The University Health Network has temporarily taken over management of a Toronto long-term care home that's struggling under the weight of a COVID outbreak. St. George Care Community currently has the most number of active cases of infection in long-term care settings across the province. The long-term care minister says by taking this step, the dedicated staff of both the hospital and home will work together to stop the outbreak. The home has 84 active resident cases, 51 active employee cases, and the minister says the vaccine was administered to negative or cleared and asymptomatic residents last week. This
asymptomatic
is 680 News. The extraordinary Republican effort to overturn the U.S. presidential election being condemned by several members of their own party.
Top Republican officials warn that effort to sow doubt in Joe Biden's win and keep President Trump in office is undermining Americans' faith in democracy. Trump has enlisted support from at least a dozen Republicans in the Senate and 100 in the House to challenge the Electoral College vote when Congress convenes Wednesday to confirm President-elect Biden's win. Despite Trump's claims of voter fraud, state officials insist there was no evidence, and of the more than 50 lawsuits challenging results, nearly all have been dismissed or dropped. I'm Julie Walker.
New report shows that in 2019, Canada's top CEOs once again made more than 200 times what the average worker earned.
The annual report by the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives says the average pay of a top 100 CEO in 2019 was $10.8 million, down from a record high of $11.8 million in 2018.
You must be a CEO.
Individual income in Canada for 2019 was $53,482, up from just over $52,000 in the previous year. The report says that means by 11:17 a.m. on the first workday of the year, the average top 100 CEO made as much money as the average Canadian worker would make all year. Terry Pedro, the Canadian Press.
How much snow I kicked off the sidewalk.
British politician has been arrested for traveling from Scotland to England while being infected with COVID. MP Margaret Ferrier has been charged with breaching coronavirus regulations. The 60-year-old admits taking the train from a riding in Glasgow to the House of Commons in London. Despite experiencing symptoms, she was suspended by the Scottish National Party days later. Traffic and weather next, 680 News Time, 4:20.
Oh, but I just broke the rules. I don't understand. They're for everyone else. They're for the niggers that might make me sick.
Is what a new year is for. Get a fresh start in your home and your life with Access Storage. With a safe place to store the belongings you love but don't have space for. Access Storage could be your resolution solution with flexible and affordable storage options at more than 100 convenient locations in Ontario. Get on with your new year. Access Storage. Shop Canadian. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit accessstorage.ca.
Oh, marvelously. Oh, marvelously.
City News Time, 4:21. Traffic and weather.
So, there's at least 6 in here. The chocolate ones. Those 2 more with those seeds. Our brownies. You look like 2 by she's making these. Gotta be. Get these.
Hundreds in great shape right now if you're coming south onto the 404 DVP. Just a minor delay through the 401 ramps there. We also have heavy delays on the northbound DVP from Baby Bloor to north of Lawrence. Westbound on the Gardner, it is slow going from the Rogers Center to west of Strawn. The west and eastbound QEW is moving completely up to speed right now. We have no problems on the route. Northbound on the 427, heavy delays from approaching the 407 up to Highway 7. That's just typical volume, and it's due to the long-term construction up in that area. Northbound 410, more volume north of Steeles to Queen. On our city streets, we just had an issue clear on the northbound Allen and Transit. The collision is gone, but we're still dealing with a delay from north of Wilson.
They don't know what winter is.
Support your healthy lifestyle with VitaTree's calcium and magnesium supplements available at TSC. Get them today and save 40%. Shop tsc.ca, today's shopping choice. Your next report's at 4:31 with the forecast. Here's Natasha Ramsahai. Yeah, this cloud cover very persistent, and it's acting like a blanket, so it doesn't allow for a lot of temperature change day versus night. Here's an example. Tonight down to -1, tomorrow up to +1. Wednesday also +1, and it's also going to stay overcast. Could see some flurries tonight and tomorrow, but by Wednesday we're into a couple of sunny breaks. By Thursday we're partly cloudy and -2, and by Friday I'm calling for mainly sunny skies with a high of -3, just a morning wind chill of -14 that we have to get through on Friday morning. Overnight tonight, overcast down to -1. It is currently +1 at Pearson.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, soon you'll know more about where COVID outbreaks are happening at the street level. The city expanding its dashboard to include info about workplace flare-ups like factories and grocery stores. This comes as Toronto reports more than 900 new infections. And starting Thursday, all airline passengers returning to Canada must show a negative COVID result before boarding. The latest straight ahead. This is 680 News.
The holiday season always makes us feel better, so let's keep that healthy attitude going. And
it's funny because it usually makes most people feel like shit.
Enjoy Boxing Day savings on healthy foods, supplements, sports, and beauty products. Now save 30% on the entire line of new chapter supplements, and pick up 2 packs of cloth masks for kids now for just $9.99. Visit one of Healthy Planet's 29 Canadian family-owned locations near you, or healthyplanetcanada.com.
We work for you.
From talking to the newsmakers
To getting the answers to what you need to know about COVID-19.
and answers about your job and finances.
If you have a question, ask it at 680news.com/answers.
680 News gets the answers.
We're in this together.
680 News, working for you.
This is All News Radio 680 News. Well, some good news for the restaurant business in Halifax. Health officials have cleared the way for restaurants and bars to reopen their dining rooms today. The move comes after weeks of closures aimed at stopping the spread of COVID. It's also being implemented as scheduled due to good case numbers over the holidays. There's still some restrictions, including closing by 11 p.m.
To get up close.
We'll see where the first market action of the week went. Business next, 680 News Time 425.
In life, the most important question anyone could ever ask is, will you marry me?
They follow down to the parking
Are we
lot.
alone in the universe? Or how did the brain need itself?
Okay, point taken. The most important question anyone can ask when they're in love and want to be with that person forever is, will you marry me? Make sure it's a yes. With Spence Diamonds, Canada's engagement destination, with thousands of rings to choose from. Spence Diamonds, open for virtual appointments and curbside pickup.
Well, it's time to pack up 2020 and send it on its way. Some say it can't happen soon enough. That's why your Ontario Subaru dealer is beginning the new year in the best way possible. A whole week early. Yay! So hurry to the Unboxing Week event and try away in a brand new 2021 Subaru right now, along with a special $500 bonus because gosh darn it, we all deserve it this year. The Unboxing Week event on now until January 4th. Happy Year 2021 from Subaru.
I get all the way to the end of the sign, which I'm not required to know how to read.
Report here, Stuart McKinnon.
It's illegal too.
Well, James,
It
it
says
makes
all the
finish
lines
on the first
start
trading
at
session
till
of this
number
new
1.
year. The
Oh,
TSX
so there's
was
2
up
dozen
94
people.
points,
So
or
every time you
0.5%,
come out of the lane,
17,527.
walking
On the
past
Wall
the
Street,
same
bunch of
people in
different
line
story.
over and over and
Declines
over.
right across the board. The
And
Dow
it's
lost
not a meter away.
382
What's wrong
points
with so
to
you got 2,000 people there that doesn't
30,223 at the
read.
close. The worst off on a percentage
people,
basis
2
was the
meters
S&P
apart.
500, losing 1.5%. The Nasdaq
Hey,
trailed
runner
187 points
put
at
in
the
their
close
stuff on it,
to
too.
12,698. Shares of
That fucking
Coca-Cola,
stuff.
Airbnb, and
It's a
Boeing
problem
all
there.
weighing heavily on
Been
Wall
here
Street
longer
today.
than I know.
Boeing shares tumbled following an analyst downgrade, forecasting a long recovery ahead for the company after Boeing lost 34% of its stock value in
Yeah, I suppose
2020 due to
that
the
store wants
pandemic
to
and
prove
issues
that
with
they're
its
fucking
737
automatic
MAX jet.
pills were
Today,
useless.
Boeing stock fell more
I
than
also paid
5%.
$7
As for
for
Coca-Cola, the company also receiving a downgrade of its own by analysts at the Royal Bank of Canada. Coca-Cola stock dropping nearly 4%. And finally, Airbnb, analysts painting the picture of an uncertain future for the company after it joined the Nasdaq just last month. It had a good start on the markets. The warning now, though, is Airbnb has very minimal near-term upside, especially given the global halt on travel. Airbnb stock had to close down by more than 5%. Well, we've seen it in Canada. It's happening in the U.S. too. Real estate continues to get more and more expensive. And according to a new report, the average family now can't afford to buy a home in most American neighborhoods. And as Data Solutions says, as of the fourth quarter to end off 2020, owning a home was only affordable in 41% of American counties. 2020 in Canada saw real estate prices nationwide rise by more than 9%. What did rise today was the price of gold, up $51.70, a gain of more than 2.5% to $19.46 the ounce. Oil went the other way by the same figure, down more than 2.5%, or $1.24 to $47.28 a barrel. And as for the Canadian dollar, it was down today as well, 0.3 cents, finished at 78.23 cents US. At the Business Center, I'm Stuart McGinn.
Every
day in Canada, 3,000 mortgages renew. Important announcement. If your mortgage renews in the next 90 days, contact butlermortgage.ca. 1.38% 5-year fixed rate at renewal. No gimmicks, no fees. It's the same mortgage as your bank. If you qualify, you save thousands. 1.38% 5-year fixed mortgage rate at butlermortgage.ca.
License number 1211, high ratio fixed rate APR of 1.39%.
Sky blue paint. Everything I found today is blue.
Find out what to wear. The best weather reports in the city every 10 minutes on 680 News.
Stop the spread. COVID-19 can be deadly. The time to act is now. Everyone must do their part to stop the spread of COVID-19. Stay at home. Period. Full stop. Only go out if absolutely necessary. That means for groceries, for medications, for medical appointments, or if you provide an essential service. Protect yourself and others. Stay home. For information, visit ontario.ca/coronavirus. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
It's the same dollar ammo what the guy got in my face. How am I fucking with you? And he pushed past some old white woman.
Checking tonight's forecast, cloudy with isolated flurries down to 0, and overnight cloudy flurries and -1 tomorrow morning. Cloudy with isolated flurries, 0 tomorrow afternoon, same, and 1 degree. Look ahead to Wednesday, mainly cloudy, few sunny breaks, cool north-northeast breeze. And -2 in the morning, high of 1 degree through the day. At times it'll feel like -6 on Wednesday morning. Thursday, partly cloudy. Morning temperature -5 will feel like -10. Afternoon temperature -2. At times it'll feel like -7. Downtown Toronto, it is overcast. It is 1 degree. 680 news time at the double tones will be 4:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Split Janet Dominzik and James
That's one
Monroe.
photo of a freaking waterfall.
Good afternoon. This is Monday, January 4th.
Here's what's making news right now.
City Hall cracks down on workplaces with new regulations on pandemic reporting.
2 or more employees with COVID-19.
But enforcing the new measures is a different story.
Ontario's top doctor doubling down on the Premier's promise to ramp up vaccine rollout.
For what? You're giving it to asymptomatics and people that
Starting
just
Thursday,
cleared.
airline passengers returning to
That's
Canada
useless.
must show negative
There's no
COVID-19
point giving it
results
to them
before
when they
boarding,
just
but
beat
the
the-
National
they
Airlines
just beat
Council
the
of Canada
disease.
says the new rule will
Why
cause
are you giving
confusion
the
and
vaccine?
frustration
What
for carriers and
Oh,
passengers.
to
The Leafs
protect
continue training camp today
So
with
what
some
I
on
asked,
ice
what's the
work.
mechanism?
Canada
It
and Russia
induces
will do
an
it again
immune
tonight
system.
from the World Juniors. And the struggling Raptors
So
will
your
host
body
Boston
knows it
Sports
just beat the
45.
virus, but
Not
it
a
can't
hot
figure out
start
where
to
all
the
this
year for
viral
Slack
material is.
Technologies or any Wall Street
So what Texas is
benchmark
doing
for that
wrong.
matter, as
So it's
Bay
gonna
Street
adapt to
closes
the
in winning
vaccine instead of
territory
real
on the first
virus.
trade of 2021. Business at 56.
And when the new mutation comes around, it's a further step removed.
680 News Time, 4:31.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Colleen
Well, I
Donahue.
survived
This
genocide
report
by
is brought to you by the
biological warfare.
407
All sides
APR.
of my
So
family
looks like we have a new problem on the westbound QEW at Mississauga Road. We have a right lane blocked by the MTO, and then a right shoulder. Looks like there's a stalled vehicle on it. So it looks like they're just trying to tow that away, and that's why that right lane's blocked. We've caught a delay because of this issue from approaching here Ontario out to Mississauga Road. If you are traveling on the eastbound QEW Gardner combo, everything is up to speed there. We have no active problems. Westbound on the Gardner leaving the city, it's heavy west of Jarvis to west of Strawn. And if you're on the northbound DVP heading out of Toronto, you're going to be stuck in delays from Don Mills to north of Lawrence. So those delays are getting much better. Westbound 401 completely clear this afternoon. Same with the 400, both directions. It's a great drive. If you're on the eastbound 401, though, we have a minor delay at Islington out to the 400 in the Express. And then in the Durham region from Westney to east of Salem, it's a little bit slow going as well. On our city streets, it looks like something might be going on at the intersection of Steeles and Islington. I can see both east and west Steeles just jammed approaching that intersection there. So if you happen to be driving through that stretch and can let us know what's going on, give us a call, star 680, and let me know. The safety of drivers both on and off the road means everything to the 407. That's why they've developed a COVID assistance program for those who need it the most. Your next report's at 4:41, and now with a look at the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Another overcast day today and tomorrow as well. And tonight with the cloud, we may spit out a couple of flurries. That's overnight into tomorrow. On and off flurries through the day with that cloud cover hanging on. The high, 1 degree. Overnight tonight, we're down to -1, just a slight wind chill of -3 as you wake up in the morning. And right now, we're sitting at 1 degree in Pearson.
That's the 680 News.
Toronto reporting more than 900 new infections of COVID-19 in the last day. This comes as the city's COVID dashboard will start showing more information for workplace outbreaks, including grocery stores and factories.
680's Mark Douglas begins our coverage and joins us live. Mark. Well, James, there's going to be public disclosure of outbreaks in 11 types of private businesses, including grocery stores, offices, and factories. That begins today. And as for what's expected now of every single workplace in Toronto, here's the city's top doctor, Dr. Eileen Davila.
The most significant instructions include a requirement that businesses immediately notify Toronto Public Health as soon as they become aware of 2 or more employees with COVID-19.
A business also has to designate a contact person to work with public health to instigate any protective measure the city tells them to, and businesses are now required to make sure workers can do physical distancing by 2 meters wherever reasonable, and businesses are being told to minimize having more than one person in a company vehicle at a time. As for enforcement, though, for these new measures and others, there are no new teeth.
We are expecting that businesses will comply of their own accord because, in fact, it just makes good sense for business to have healthy employees and healthy workers.
The public disclosure of businesses with outbreaks can be found on the dashboard at the Public Health website, and it's going to be updated with new information every Thursday. Reporting live from City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
Number 1 getting number 2, a Toronto healthcare worker is the first person in the province to get a second dose of COVID vaccine. This comes as the Federal government admits there have been months in the road in the immunization campaign, and the province reporting more than 3,000 new cases. 680's Michelle Mackey joins us live with the latest. Michelle.
So, Jenna, more than 42,000 doses have been administered since December 14th. But Ontario's top doctor, Dr. David Williams, says the target is 1,000 vaccines per day at each of Ontario's 19 distribution sites.
Once we set that moving target, we're going to have to make sure we get the same supply management coming from our federal counterparts to the manufacturers so we can keep that pace up.
But he didn't set an exact timeline for that target. So a growing number of healthcare workers have taken to social media with the hashtag ready to vaccinate, volunteering their services in an effort to speed up that process.
Well, some people want to just vaccinate writ large. We really want to focus that we're running a vaccine program to make sure we try to make some impact as soon as it can on these high-risk areas that you've been asking about.
Oh, you want it, you don't get it. You don't want it, I'm going to tell you have to get it.
It comes as the province reports 3,270 more cases, including 3 cases of the new COVID-19 variant. 2 of those people had recently traveled to the UK. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Mackey.
So the second wave hitting the long-term care sector even harder than the first. According to the provincial data, there are COVID outbreaks in a record 219 facilities. 14 more LTC residents have died for a total of more than 2,800 since it started. 8 long-term care employees have also died since the beginning of the crisis. Tender Care Living Center in Scarborough has seen the highest number of resident deaths at 62.
It only makes sense.
The province will not extend the inquiry into the spread of COVID in the LTC, saying it needs the information from the inquiry sooner rather than later. The final report due April 30th.
As of Thursday, airline passengers returning to Canada must first provide a negative COVID-19 test result. The National Airlines Council of Canada says the new rule, which mandates a 14-day quarantine in Canada, regardless of that test result, is going to cause confusion for carriers and passengers. 680's Phil Martino joins us now.
No matter what.
So, Jenna, Mike McNanny, CEO of the National Airlines Council of Canada, says Transport Canada has still not provided a list of foreign agencies whose COVID-19 tests are considered acceptable, or the final guidance material.
Airlines are the front-end implementation of this. Airports and that passengers are going to be first engaging with. so the new rules taking effect on Thursday. So there's still information that we are still waiting for, and we're quite concerned about the confusion that is going to ensue.
The confusion that will ensue because nothing changed.
Supports a strong
If
testing
you
regime,
get
but it does
off
not
the
support
plane
the
in
way
Canada,
Transport Canada
you
is
must
handling
have
this.
a plan to self-isolate, not quarantine, isolate. Quarantine means you're diseased.
To addressing,
then no one's allowed near you. Ever. Isolate means take your best efforts. And we still have Americans driving up here to get to Alaska.
Phil Martino,
You're advised to pay at the pump and not talk to
the Premier
people.
says he's accepted the resignation of his municipal affairs minister and his chief of staff. Both have been under fire for international trips over the holidays. He's also accepted the resignation of Jerry Nixon. He's a parliamentary secretary. And Jason Stefan from his position on the Treasury Board. They also taken trips abroad. Changes could be coming to the Canada Recovery Sickness Benefit scandal. Some questioning whether that benefit, which offers $1,000 in support for people who have to quarantine for 14 days, should be off limits to vacationers. The federal employment minister says the benefit is designed to provide workers with a paid sick leave option and not travel with paid time off on return.
Well, it would seem there were fewer drunk drivers this holiday season compared to last year, but there were still a lot of people breaking the rules on the road. Here's 6 City's Mona Qureshi.
People staying home over the break is likely a major reason the number of tickets handed out between December 28th and today is down. But OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says there are still 346 impaired driving charges that were handed out. And there are also a lot of lead-footed drivers.
Another 141 people were charged with street racing or stunt driving. Now, I don't know where you're going or where you're going in such a hurry, but it does seem excessive that we're taking about 10 people off the road every single day for street racing, stunt driving.
Just today, the OPP tweeting out an 18-year-old speedster was clocked going 183 kilometers per hour on the QEW near St. Catharines, resulting in a week-long impounding of the car and license suspension. I'm Mona Qureshi.
Regardless of who owns the car.
Listen 3, 4, 5
Let
times a
somebody
day.
else drive your car and they get pulled over for that.
And on your
Car's off the road for 7 days.
680 News.
You've been diagnosed with depression and
I'm not
can't
sure who
work.
told
Your
you.
insurer advises that your depression is not serious and
I'm not
denies
sure
your
what
claim.
type of store
What are you going to do? Who can you call? Call me, Aaron Waxman, at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees because there are none. At my law firm, my team of lawyers only get paid when you get paid and before you call.
I don't know who gets paid to cut
There are
them
no
down.
bad questions.
They can't reach
416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
Now the 6 City News gas price update. Emperor predicting the price will not change at midnight. We should stay at just under $1.08 a liter.
If life is a journey, we can help you enjoy the ride. North York Kia, a proud member of the A1 group of dealerships, has been a driving force in the greater Toronto area. We offer you the selection and service we want for ourselves. By treating you like our own, we can put you in the right vehicle at the right time. Come see the all-new Kia K5. We're not just here for you, we are you. To learn more, visit us today at northyorkia.ca.
Being a new mom isn't easy, but hugging's easy. Loving's easy. And baby feed drops are easy too. Simply apply just one drop where baby feeds. There's no taste, so it doesn't interfere with feeding. Pediatricians recommend vitamin D daily for breastfed infants. Baby D drops, sunshine vitamin in just one drop.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carling Donahue. This report is brought to you by Indigo Books and Music. So right now on the westbound QEW at Mississauga Road, it looks like we have a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder. So MTO crews and tow trucks are blocking the right shoulder and the right lane. So big visual distraction is causing a delay from approaching Huron, Ontario out to Mississauga Road right now. But that's the only problem on the west QEW. Westbound Gardner is backed up from Rogers Center to west of Strawn. That's just typical volume. Your east Gardner QEW combo is looking perfect this afternoon, so nothing to worry about there. Right now on the northbound 410, delays from Steeles to Queen. Green, and it's jammed on the northbound 427 from approaching the 407 up to Highway 7. That's just due to long-term maintenance set up there. We have delays on the northbound DVP leaving the city. It's jammed from Don Mills to north of Lawrence. Coming into the city on the southbound 404 DVP, it's pretty heavy from south of Finch to the 401 ramps. The 401, it's in great shape right now. We just have a couple spots where there's some delays. If you're going westbound, it's heavy from Mavis in the Express to approaching Mississauga Road. And eastbound on the 401, it's heavy through Islington to the 400 Express and Westmead east of Salem. On city streets, still looking at delays on east and westbound Steeles approaching Islington. Inhale 2021, exhale 2020. During Indigo's wellness event, save up to 25% on self-help, fitness, and sleep essentials and more. Exclusions apply. Visit indigo.ca. Your next report is coming up at 4:51 with the forecast attached to Ramsey. All right, thanks very much. We're looking at -1 overnight tonight and then +1 again tomorrow. So very similar conditions tomorrow as what we're seeing right now. And that includes the cloud cover that stays in place tonight and tomorrow. And then by Wednesday, still mainly cloudy. A couple of sunny breaks expected with a high of 1, but it's really not until Thursday, Friday we'll get back into a little bit more sunshine. Overnight tonight down to that low of -1 degree. Right now at Pearson, it is 1 degree right now. Now the dynamic funds market minute to the business center. Here's Stuart McGinn.
A nice day for Bay Street, not so much for Wall Street. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all losing ground to start off 2021. The Dow fell 382 points to 30,229. The S&P 500 off by 1.5%. Well, the NASDAQ down to 12,698, lost nearly 200 points. As for the TSX, it was up 94 points, closing at 17,524 on a gain of more than 0.5%. Gold was up today more than 2.5% to 1946 the ounce, while oil fell more than $1, down to $47.28 a barrel. And the Canadian
icebreaker. The
greatest investment tip ever? Start building a plan with a financial advisor today. Learn more about the value of advice at dynamic.ca/advice.
They don't have a written language because we say so, but they have 150 words for snow.
The journeys that we take. So we've made a commitment to do things the right way and give you our very best, our best fuel, our best snacks, our best services, our best rewards. And by taking care of what fuels you, you can be your best. Because better drivers make better journeys, and better journeys make a better world. Learn more at shell.ca.
This part here is fucking clear for some reason.
Joker, a meteor set to collide with our west coast in mere minutes. What do we do? Not to worry, Governor. I will simply fly around the Earth fast enough to reverse our polarity and turn back time.
There we go.
Joker away. You've only taken 3 steps. Here I
go. People who toke.
You're basically standing still. Toka, help innocent citizens breathe easier. Probably not. Find out why at the TokaOnline.ca.
And other respiratory ailments are somehow
And overcast sky and 1 degree in downtown Toronto. Good afternoon. I'm Sljana Timinsik.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what's making news right now.
Toronto's top doctors laid out the city's New Year resolution.
Our goal in January must be to limit spread.
Dr. Eileen DeVillis is starting today. You'll have access to Toronto's online COVID-19 dashboard for details about outbreaks occurring in workplaces like grocery stores and construction. The province reporting more than 3,200 new cases of COVID-19 today, including several cases of the new variant. One of the people infected is a Toronto resident who recently traveled to the UK. As of Thursday, airline passengers returning to Canada will first need to provide a negative COVID-19 test result. However, the National Airlines Council of Canada says there's no set framework for which tests will be acceptable.
Time now for 680 Sports.
From Sportsnet 590, The Fan, here's Alex Xero.
Hey, Sljana, while Maple Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe has opened training camp with a workman-like third line of Alex Kerfoot, Zach Hyman, and Ilya Mikheyev.
People call the mouse and pass. The mouse the only one not bothering.
That skates really well. Good defensive habits. 3 guys that are real strong penalty killers for us and relying on those defensive situations.
Guys grow tomatoes and you pick them all the time.
Together a line like that, it could really make us harder to play against in a lot of ways.
The Leafs hit the ice this morning at Ford Performance Center. The season opener goes next Wednesday against Montreal. Tonight, it is Canada versus Russia for a spot in the gold medal game of the World Junior Hockey Championship. Puck drop set for 6. The winner gets either USA or Finland, and that semi begins at 9:30. The Blue Jays appear to be in the market for a top reliever. According to Shai Davidi, Liam Hendricks was visiting the Jays complex in Dunedin today. He's already had 2 separate stints with Toronto in 2014 and 2015. The Toronto Raptors are facing a 1-5 start if they don't beat the Boston Celtics tonight. We have the game from Tampa Bay at 7:30 on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 590 The Fan. And we are late in the second half in the Premier League, where Southampton maintains that 1-0 lead over league leaders Liverpool. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
But why does it cost more?
We all know family and friends have been recommending Capital Direct for years, and now with the advent of FlexiLine or traditional equity loan, your options are even better. Compared to the banks these days, Capital Direct's lending criteria are less strict. Whether you could use $50,000 or $1.5 million, your money could be in your bank account within days. Reach your record low, so call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL to see what's available for you.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games,
30% of your mark is finals,
jackpot slot,
and that's up to the teacher to just decide whatever they want you to do.
And get treated as a VIP 24/7.
So it's your niggers. I want to report
today on your
on
tablet, laptop, or
slavery.
mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
No,
Here with All News Radio 680 News, the Trump administration is defending its rollout of COVID-19 vaccines after missing its goal of delivering 20 million shots by New Year's Day. Instead, only 2 million Americans have been vaccinated.
The U.S. has administered fewer doses of the vaccines than anticipated. We asked Health Secretary Alex Azar why.
There's a lag between doses being available, them being ordered by the providers and the states, shipping, and then eventual vaccination, especially when you have Christmas and New Year's in the middle.
He said the pace has picked up in the last 72 hours with 1.5 million doses given.
I'm very hopeful that we're going to see a continued rapid uptick.
Azar ruled out a strategy adopted in Britain to delay second doses of vaccine so more people can get a single shot. Aaron Katersky,
That
ABC
doesn't
News,
make
New York.
sense.
Here with
These are
All
the
News
same
Radio
people
680
that decided
News, the
the
Wisconsin
best way to
pharmacist accused of
administer
intentionally
opiate
spoiling
painkillers
several hundred
was to
doses
make
of a
sure
COVID
you're
vaccine
absolutely
has
certain
made
you were
his
in
first
deep
appearance in
withdrawal
court.
We're getting our first
before
look
they
at the
give
man
you the next
authorities say
dose.
is
Right, so
responsible
when
for
your body
spoiling those
says,
doses
"Take
as
this
pharmacist
drug,"
Stephen Brandenburg
then you
made
get
his
the next
first
day.
appearance in court on Monday.
If your body's already amped up as much as
damage to property in excess of $15,000 and second-degree
And I
recklessly
guarantee they were
endangering
giving the wrong
safety.
amount to these
Prosecutors said at the hearing
That's
Brandenburg intentionally let down more than 500 doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine with the intention of ruining them
patented by
over a
Bayer.
belief that the technology behind Moderna's vaccine, called mRNA vaccines, is not safe. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
In 60 seconds, traffic and weather together.
And tRNA.
Your employment rights with Leroy Sampiru from employmentlawyer.ca.
COVID-19 has forced drastic employment changes on many Canadians in the form of layoffs, pay cuts, reduction in hours, demotions, and relocation. What most employees don't realize is that your employer does not have a right to make significant changes to terms of employment without your consent. You don't have to accept these changes. Your employer is essentially terminating you, and you are owed full severance pay. I can help you get the severance package you are legally owed. My team has helped tens of thousands of employees get the compensation they deserve, and changes are made to their job. Before you accept any changes, contact me and discover why my employment law firm is the most
30 years in,
positively
I'm still hearing
reviewed firm
people
in
yamble.
Canada.
Oh, but the law says,
Leroy Sampiru today to get the advice you need and the compensation you deserve. Visit employmentlawyer.ca. That's employmentlawyer.ca.
nowhere in the law is it written what your severance pay is. Nowhere.
680 News Time, 4:51.
Traffic and
That's why
weather
these
together on
people
the
get
Colleen
fired
Donahue.
from the province
This
and all
report is
this
brought to
shit.
you by TSC. We have a new
They get
problem now on the
golden bears
southbound DVP, the ramp to the Gardner, we have the right lane blocked with emergency crews and the right shoulder blocked with a stalled vehicle. So just a heads up, it doesn't look like it's causing too much of a delay right now, but definitely a visual distraction, so just make sure you're being careful. On the northbound DVP leaving the city, you're going to be stuck in delays approaching Eglinton and north of Lawrence. And that's pretty much it for that route, except a minor delay from south of Finch to the 401 ramps on the southbound 404. If you're on the westbound Gardner, we have delays from the Rogers Center to west of Strawn. Westbound on the QEW, that issue at Mississauga Road has cleared and the delays are gone with it. Right now on the eastbound Gardner, everything is eastbound QEW, everything's moving up to speed. But if you're on the eastbound Gardner, we have a small delay approaching Jarvis out to Cherry. On the 401, everything's in pretty good shape. We have no active issues, but we do have delays on the westbound side approaching Mavis in the express to approaching Mississauga Road. And on the eastbound 401, it's heavy from Islington to the 400 in the express and Westney to east of Salem. Support your healthy lifestyle with VitaTree's calcium and magnesium supplements available at TSC. Get them today and save 40%. Shop tsc.ca, today's shopping choice. With your forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahide.
All right, Carling, it's another night of overcast conditions, a few isolated flurries at times. Really mild, though. I mean, the overnight low should be around -10. We're down to -1 tonight. And tomorrow is going to look very similar to today. Overcast, a few flurries, and 1 degree. Mainly cloudy Wednesday and 1. And then we'll have a little bit more sun by Thursday. Partly cloudy and -2. And I am calling for mainly sunny skies on Friday. A little bit of a cold start with a morning wind chill of -14. But by Friday afternoon, we'll be up to -3. Tonight, we're down to a low of -1 degree. Right now, it is 1 degree at Pearson with a light breeze.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Bellier Brothers. Take advantage of Bellier's 0% financing and prepare your home for winter. Bellier, experts in heating, air quality, and home comfort. Call Bellier 416-425-1200.
Hi, Steve here. We can all agree that 2020 was a tumultuous year.
Agreed, Steve. This health crisis has been a lingering challenge for all of us.
When open, our 5 locations have been very busy with some exciting new products and designs in both leathers and fabrics.
And once we reopen again, you'll see that it's been well worth your wait.
Now, why isn't this store doing amazingly well? Everybody's supposed to be sitting at home. You know that ratty ass cup? When you aren't at home, you don't think about the things at home. You get home, my toilet that can jiggle the handle, and the kitchen sink trips, which only bothers me because I'm sitting in here.
This is the last week of Jeopardy episodes hosted by Alec Trippz.
Plug in the right spot, the other one, you know, all that dumb shit.
The syndicated game
Get yourself a new
for over
test.
36 years. And this week, we'll see that come to an end. Trebek died from pancreatic cancer in November and taped episodes of Jeopardy until 10 days before his death. We'll see those final 5 shows this week, with the last one ever hosted by Trebek airing Friday. Then, starting a week from today, Jeopardy will feature guest hosts, starting with former champ Ken Jennings, until a replacement for Trebek is named. Welcome. Good luck. Let's go to work. Jason Nathan.
I think we're supposed to keep taking turns forever.
This is 680 News. All eyes will be on Edmonton tonight as Canada battles Russia at the World Juniors.
Which is what made everybody pause.
When Canada faces Russia in this tournament, the game is almost always a classic. All time since 1993, so it will still be a union. Canada has 14 wins against them, 12 losses, and a tie. Most recently, a win in last year's gold medal game. We expect a different-looking matchup than past years. Toronto native Team Canada's Jamie Drysdale.
Last year, they were kind of a running team. I've noticed they're a little bit more patience with the puck.
Sportsnet Sam Valentino said this should be close.
It's typical. It's going to be
People
better.
that caught me are not lazy or
Trump
liars.
is at 6 p.m. in Edmonton. The other semifinal tonight has the USA facing Finland. I'm Simon Bennett.
Hey, you want to run the government ads? They always eventually pay.
If your furnace is broken, call Reliance Home Comfort.
We wouldn't have an income tax right now if you had followed through.
Has over 45,000 5-star reviews.
It would
so you can
eliminate
depend on us to put you first and take safety precautions.
Katie had cable TV in 1959. Ted Rogers had cable TV up here in 1960. And he brags about inventing cable.
When you buy a featured furnace.
We did it the hard way. We did it ourselves.
Conditions apply. Savings off our regular price. See
He
website
must
for
have said that
details.
8 different ways before they got the sound bite they needed.
Covered by a mask and unable to touch, we've never needed our eyes more. To see and read, but also to smile, connect, and take the place of a hug. Why let glasses, contacts, and cataracts get in the way? Say I've had it and come to Herzig. Google Herzig Eye Institute. Call us for a consultation. There's no charge. Hertzig is prepared. You're protected. Look after yourself. Promise me.
680 News Time, 4:56.
Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Stuart McGinn.
Well, it's the first Monday of the year, officially kicking off 2021 for many of us. It was back to work following the holiday break and back to business on the markets too. But not everything got going again so smoothly. Slack, the workplace messaging app, actually crashed to start the workday as thousands working from home tried to log into it. As many as 15,000 users reported having connectivity issues, sending the company's stock into negative territory at the close. Slack stock had recovered slightly, but was still down by more than 0.5%. Wall Street sharing in the feelings of not having such a great start to the year, ending with a losing day across the board after records kicked off the opening bell. The Dow fell 382 points, down to 30,229. The S&P was lower by 1.5%, while the Nasdaq fell nearly 200 points. It was a different story on Bay Street and for the TSX. It was up 0.5% or 94 points, finishing at 17,527. One of the biggest moneymakers on Bay Street today, involving a nearly $6 billion offer presented to Brookfield Property Partners as its parent company moves to take its real estate division private. Brookfield Property owns close to $88 billion worth of malls, office buildings, and self-storage facilities. But the value of all those properties has done nothing but fall since the start of the pandemic. Brookfield Property Partners stock finished the day with gains of more than 18%.
I'm just
Gold
a half-breed nigger lover. That makes money every day, tax-free, legally.
1946 the ounce is where it's at right now. While oil,
Four
on the other end of
passports.
things, it fell by more than 2.5%, $1.24, down to $47.28 a
And
barrel.
we're not
Also, not such a
enlisted, but
great
here's
day for
what's
the
better.
Canadian dollar to kick off.
We can't be
2021.
removed
It's down
from our
3
status
cents
within
today
your
to
army.
78.23 cents US. At the Business Center, I'm Stuart McGinn.
We'll revoke our recognition of your country, then it ceases to exist because no one else would have fucked with. Oh, you want to have that conversation? No, I didn't think so.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's
There's so many vacant properties. There's some I want to rent.
and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should
There's
try
one I want to
ZipRecruiter
buy.
for free at
It's 91 or something.
ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. Monica did, and that says she found Lamont.
2782 Dundas West. I want to rent that out.
Perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter
I
is the
must go
smartest
get
way
my
to hire.
Jamaican
And now you can
rice
try
and peas and
ZipRecruiter for free.
chicken
That's
and
right,
chocolate
free
milk.
at ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart.
New year, healthy you. Walmart knows wellness. If you need any advice on healthy choices this year, just ask your Walmart pharmacist. This message is brought to you by Pharmascience. In Markham, overcast and 0. It's overcast and 0 in Brampton and Mississauga. Oakville, overcast and 2 degrees. Milton, overcast and +1. In Hamilton, overcast and 2 degrees. Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge, overcast and 1 degree. In downtown Toronto, mostly overcast and 1 degree. A slight wind chill reading of Never Stop. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. 680 News time.
You insist
5
on
o'clock.
using Rogers digital cable for your voice over IP phone lines because fuck Bell Canada.
Is 680 News.
That's what you get.
Here are James Monroe and Slajana Dominzik.
Good evening. It's Monday, January 4th.
Here's what you need to know right now.
From now on in Toronto, pandemic outbreaks in private businesses will become public information.
Grocery stores, pharmacies, offices.
New regulations, but no new enforcement.
The Premier and his top
So,
doctor
we do
promised to
enforcement.
ramp up the vaccine rollout as a growing number of healthcare workers take to social media to offer assistance.
A group of doctors
It's 5
is
p.m.
urging
here,
the
6
federal
a.m. in
government to
China.
put in more measures to help stop the airborne spread of COVID-19.
Joe Thornton all smiles as the Leafs hit the ice in Etobicoke. The semis go tonight to the World Junior Hockey Championship, and Kansas Siakam and the Raptors upend the Celtics. Sports at 15. Bay Street wins, Wall Street loses, but airlines on both sides of the border Struggle yet again with two big factors at play. The details in business in 26.
680 News Time 501.
Traffic weather together on the ones. Here's Colin.
This report is brought to you by Sportsnet. It looks like we have a new problem on the eastbound Gardner at Cherry. We have the right lane blocked with a collision. It's causing a heavy delay from the Rogers Center. So just something to look out for there. We have another problem kind of on the Gardner, but this is on the southbound DVP. We have the ramp to the Gardner with a right lane blocked due to a stalled vehicle. Emergency crews blocking that live lane. So just a heads up for those two things affecting your drive. If you are getting off of the south DVP heading onto the west Gardner, you're going to be stuck in a delay at Strawn. And the eastbound QEW is in great shape. Same with the westbound QEW. On the northbound DVP leaving the city, it's heavy approaching Eglinton.
Rogers paid the private owner for the right to name the place.
Just a minor delay through Mississauga approaching.
We paid like $50 million out of taxes to build it. They sold it for $500 million or something like that to some private company who then collected the money from Rogers for the name. Rogers had nothing to do with building
a delay at this point. It's just
I'm gonna keep tearing apart Rogers.
And
yep,
then everything is clear until you hit the Durham region, where we have a slowdown east of Westney to east of Salem. Every time you watch an illegal sports stream, an angel loses its wings. Live stream sports with Sportsnet now. Visit assetnow.ca for details.
You need to listen because gray market's perfectly legal.
Well, you throw this blanket of cloud on top of the city, and we don't drop much temperature-wise at night. It is like
we're watching that. You would magically come up with the money to pay for it.
And then tomorrow we're back up to +1, and overcast skies are going to stay with us. Could see a couple of flurries tonight and tomorrow, but no accumulation. Overnight tonight down to a low -1 degree. It is currently 1 degree with calm winds at Pearson.
680 News Time 502.
Well, Toronto Public Health will soon be sharing more information about COVID outbreaks in workplaces. This move comes with new measures for businesses and employers. Well, the city reports more than 900 fresh cases.
680's Mark Douglas joins us live with what you need to know. Mark.
Well, Jenna, starting today, COVID-19 outbreaks in many private workplaces in Toronto are public information.
The website will provide more specificity about workplace-related outbreaks across 11 categories.
And that's Dr. Eileen Davila explaining the new information now being published on the city's public health dashboard. The 11 categories of business include
grocery stores, pharmacies, food processing sites, offices.
Also starting today, any business in Toronto has to contact public health if 2 or more workers come down with COVID. And that business has to set up a contact person to work with public health to enforce any changes the agency hands down. But none of this is coming with new enforcement. Dr. Davila admits, aside from the enforcement power that already exists,
the same enforcement already applied
on businesses to willingly comply. But she adds, it is good business to have your workers healthy. You'll find the complete list of new instructions and the 11 affected industries at 680news.com. Reporting live from City Hall, I'm Mark Douglas.
So Premier Ford
says the United States has the lowest rate of sickle cell in the world.
A significant difference.
Jamaica has the highest.
This month. This comes as the province reports another batch of more than 3,000 new cases.
The Americans and the British.
Joins us live. Michelle.
James, hashtag
you think black people don't know what they only knew. They know we know. We know. We just make our decisions based on real life in the present.
A slow inoculation rollout. And they're also offering to help. Ontario's top doctor, Dr. David Williams, says it's great to hear people want to participate.
The remote control mounted police.
With
Sergeant Preston and all that.
To make sure we try and make some impact as soon as we can on these high-risk areas.
Dr. Williams says more than 45,000 doses have been distributed since December 14th. That works out to roughly 2,000 doses a day. But like the Premier, he promises that number will increase very soon by upping daily inoculations at each of the province's 19 distribution